Hi, my name is Frankie. I am a Louisvillian at heart, but right now I currently live in Los Angeles, California. I am a creative artist, so I do fashion design. I'm also a performing artist, and I'm a mental health advocate. I lived in Southern Indiana for about 5 years. I was there before the walking bridge was built, so I got to see it come together right before my eyes and see the neighborhood and the entire downtown Jeffersonville change. And it felt like it happened overnight, even though I saw it slowly happening. I saw the houses moving, I saw the construction. But once it was done, it felt like it always been there. The first time that I was ever featured in a glossy high-end magazine was an Extol feature. And I was very grateful for that opportunity. And having a studio in Southern Indiana to make that connection and to bridge the gap, so to speak, between between the sides of the river was really special to me. So I definitely enjoyed having the different working studios, one in Jeffersonville, and then the other one was over in New Albany. And it never felt like a different place. It never felt like I was going anywhere other than my hometown. So it's interesting the relationship that Louisville and Southern Indiana have. Black History Month is important to me because it felt like the one time of year in school that I actually got to learn about things from an academic perspective as opposed to a cultural perspective. Of course, my parents have their stories because we're all living Black history, especially in the time that we're in now. And I've heard my grandparents' stories about segregation and what they've had to go through. But that's just the anecdotal stuff. That's the emotional, personal things. And Black history always felt like the one time that I got to hear what people thought of us, their interpretations of us, like what on paper, the concrete black and white version of our story, I felt like we only got to talk about during Black history. But that was when I was a kid. As I've gotten older, it seems like it's become less and less of an informative time, an educational time, and more of a cliche, look, I like Black people too kind of time, because they continue to educate about the exact same heroes that we already know a lot about. And when they do talk about those same heroes like Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., sorry, when they do talk about them, it's the very angelic, lofty parts of them. They don't talk about all the work that went into getting them to the sit-ins, that got them to the boycotts. And that's what I kind of wish we would do more, because Black history is American history. All the people that we talk about are Americans. So there's really no reason why it can't be more of a mainstream, but I take what I can get. And so February is my favorite month outside of October. In terms of making history now, it's hard to say, but I know that there are some people in my life that are making an impact on what our history will be like when we tell these stories in the past. I'll brag about my best friend for a second. She is a mental health professional, and she started her own practice in Louisville. And she just got a job as clinical director, interim clinical director over at U of L. And I we have always been very clear on our relationship to our Blackness and how important it is, that we educate others and also kind of just be the best versions of ourselves, every time we can, and to just be just to be more honest about our experiences. And I know that her work in mental health is going to have a huge impact on the Black community specifically, because we're terrible with it. We're awful when it comes to mental health and mental health care and recognizing the signs, and understanding that, having a mental health issue doesn't mean you're broken. It just means a part of you needs different attention. And so I will throw Tiffany Farmer's name out there, someone I know will make history and will have an impact on Black history in years to come. So I definitely see myself as an opportunity creator. So, for example, my role at KMAC Couture in 2016, I believe it was, when I was the featured artist, I was given an amazing opportunity to make some choices. Before I had even pitched the designs that I wanted to walk the runway to them, they said, "Hey, Frankie, do you want to have a say in the photographers and the model and the poster? Do you want to have a say?" Of course I want to have a say. I'm Frankie. I always want to have a say. So when we met and I thought about it and realized this opportunity that I had, I thought, all right, everybody Black. I'll Black everything. And I was able to pick an amazingly talented Black photographer, Stacey Marie, and she and I and Jakeva and Keisha and Centria, and Deontay, Deontay Tenson, he worked there at the time, and he was the one that kind of helped keep it all organized and to be kind of an advocate when we weren't there, so to speak. But we made some amazing things happen with that photo shoot. And sure enough, that was the first year that KMAC did a billboard on Bardstown Road and Frankfurt Avenue, which are not spaces where you see us in abundance. So it felt really powerful, really validating to be able to kind of give my team that experience of having their first billboard, of having a major campaign, and getting to show who we are. I mean, the look that she was wearing was made out of Black hair care products and extensions. So there was no way to interpret that image or that experience any other way other than, Black girl magic on display. It's really important to me that Black people and non-Black people alike start to recognize and accept Black humanness. And I don't think we do that enough. We're constantly, we as in Black artists, Black Americans, whatever, we're constantly having to fight this battle of being, again, our best selves, of being superhuman, of being above something, and I know it's because we are all taught that you have to be 10 times better than those around you in order to get what feels like half the respect. And I've lived that, believe it or not. And so it's exhausting. It's exhausting to constantly feel like you have to be exceptional to be accepted. And it leads to us not accepting ourselves, not accepting our brothers and sisters, not accepting who we are, our shortcomings, that we think something is going to be wrong with us and that we're never going to have these opportunities we work so hard for if we don't stay exceptional. And then on the flip side, when we aren't exceptional, when we are just human, then we get looked over. It goes, "Oh, well, you're not special." What? I don't need to talk to you. Let's keep going. So it would be nice if we could just have a moment to breathe, to remember that we're all humans who make human decisions, human mistakes, and human successes, and that being exceptional should not be a requirement for acceptance.